Hi guys, Sepp Blatter says that there is no racism in football. I can't believe that. He said there's no racism in football, and also he says if somebody calls you this or calls you that because they may look different than you, what you should do is shake their hand after the game. This is coming from the same guy who said to stamp sexism out of any sport, we should all curtsy after a game. Can you imagine some of these top footballers saying, maybe Lionel Messi, oh, that was a great nutmeg, mate. I'll tell you what, afterwards, let's curtsy and everyone we can go for a pint. This guy's having a laugh. He is having a Paul McGrath. How can he actually said that? I've just actually heard a minute ago that he's gone on Twitter to say what he said wasn't right. So somebody, one of the big wigs, has obviously listened to what he said and said, I'll tell you what, Sepp, you can't go around saying that kind of stuff, sons. People would be an outrage. This isn't helping John Terry at all. The poor guy must be at home thinking, well, what am I going to do about this? The top leader in FIFA is now saying that this is cool. You can call anyone you want to call them. You can do anything you want to do because they might be different. But afterwards, you've got to shake their hands. Somehow, I don't think people are going to agree. And this has become a bit of an outrage. The guy's an embarrassment. As I said before, Sepp Blatter, you're having a Paul McGrath son.
There is maybe one of the players towards the other, he has a word or a gesture which is not the correct one. But also the one who is affected by that, he should say, it's a game. We are in a game, and at the end of the game we shake hands. This can happen.
Where is your heart? They are threatening the cup. Just give them anything. Anything they want. What? Are you crazy? Not this. This is the FIFA money. Don't let them touch us on our tournament.
Der Kajalicha toilets sagen.
You know, we do a good thing to bring the World Cup. But are they grateful? No. Spiteful, hateful.
But, Mr. Blatter, it seems that some 500,000 foreign football fans are staying away.
So what's the problem? Why can't you people just sit back and enjoy the soccer? What is wrong with you?
With respect, Mr. Jordan, what's wrong is the growing suspicion that we have been sold a lemon here. I mean, where exactly is the windfall promised for hosting the World Cup?
Right here, Tim. Right here. Yes, we are going to make a record $3.5 billion from the final.
Hotels and guest houses are not going to see much of that, are they?
Why don't they just want to see the football? What is wrong with us people? One for the FIFA, one for FIFA, one for the FIFA, one for FIFA, and another one for FIFA. One for you, Danny. One for the FIFA.
President Jacob Zuma has...
But when I raised it with FIFA President Sepp Blatter a few years ago, he suddenly went all coy.
It's alleged a secret payment from ISL arrived by accident in FIFA's bank account. Who was it to?
I do not enter into discussion here in this press conference, and this is totally out of the matter we like to discuss.
New corruption allegations have engulfed soccer's world governing body. An inquiry has heard FIFA officials accepted bribes in exchange for votes at last year's World Cup selections.
The announcement that left Australian soccer fans feeling robbed.
The winner to organise the 2022 FIFA World Cup is Qatar.
After pouring $45 million into a World Cup campaign, we received just one vote. Now, at an inquiry into England's failed bid, 6 FIFA committee members have been accused of selling their votes. Among the more bizarre requests, Paraguay's Nicolas Laos allegedly asked for a knighthood. Thai official Warawi Makudi reportedly wanted the TV rights to a friendly game. And Trinidad and Tobago's representative Jack Warner is accused of asking for nearly $4 million to be paid into his personal bank account to build a school.
Jack Warner nodded at that and sat back. He didn't say anything, he nodded at it, but then said that the funds could be channelled through him and he would guarantee that they were appropriately spent.
1/3 of FIFA's voting committee has now been accused of corruption. These two men reportedly took bribes against Australia's bid, allegedly paid $1.5 million to vote for Qatar.
I cannot say that they are all angels or they are all devils. I can only respond with my conscience, and I can say...
Committee members have strongly denied corruption claims, but a full inquiry could be called.
This is Riccardo Teixeira. Panorama has met him before. In 1998, we tried to ask him about his role in sponsorship deals for Brazil's national team.
You don't want to talk about football.
Well, I would like to talk about football.
Bye-bye. No more answers. No more questions.
But we've got new questions because that Liechtenstein company Sanod has been closely linked to him in the past. An inquiry by the Brazilian Senate in 2001 found that funds from Sanod had been secretly channeled to Mr. Teixeira. We wrote to Mr. Teixeira and asked. He didn't reply either.
Hello, Mr. Teixeira, could we talk to you, please?
So I went back to FIFA's hotel in Zurich to ask him.
Did you take your bribes through the Sanod company? What were those payments from the ISL company for? Mr. Teixeira? Oh, dear.
We told the Brazilian senator who led that 2001 inquiry about the ISL payments to Sanod. He said, this is another scandal, a big scandal. Mr. Leos, Mr. Hayatu and Mr. Teixeira. 3 FIFA bosses that England's bid team has been lobbying to vote for England in 3 days' time.
The $100 million list. Complete.
$100 million. I showed the list of payments to Roland Buchel, former ISL insider and now a Swiss MP.
It's incredible. The sum is incredible. I'm surprised that there have been so many payments over such a long period. I think it will be a big surprise up in FIFA House.
But how much of a surprise? Sepp Blatter's known about the ISL
situation. You're not going to make laws for just one situation, and that one situation is the World Cup. You not make laws to protect one organization. You don't do that.
The demands help guarantee FIFA's financial return. More than $3 billion from the last World Cup. Most startling of all, FIFA's demands on tax.
They want to create their own tax haven. A full exempt situation. It is FIFA and its FIFA subsidiaries that are fully exempt from any tax whatsoever levied at whatever level, state level, municipality level, all sorts of taxes, consumption taxes, income taxes, you name it, it's all exempt.
There are also tax breaks for FIFA's official sponsors. The Dutch have calculated that if they win the bid, FIFA's tax demands could amount to €300 million. FIFA says the guarantees are reasonable. They are a not-for-profit organisation which funds the development of football, and that the FIFA World Cup is FIFA's only source of income.
FIFA wants all bidders to sign up to its demand.
It is indefensible, and it's an insult to taxpayers in this country. These are demands. You sign up here, or otherwise your bid will be likely to be regarded as deficient. They have the audacity to seek to instruct the Parliament.
We've been told President Blatter has known about one ISL bribe for 13 years and has done nothing. This is former FIFA President João Havelange. 4 years ago, I reported how a huge payment intended for him had ended up in FIFA's bank account by mistake. Witnesses said there was panic when a bank statement listing the payment landed on the desk of then FIFA General Secretary Sepp Blatter.
I'm told you ordered this bribe should be moved to the man whose name was on the payment. Can you tell me who it went to? Was it President Havelange?
We've never been given an answer. But does it lie in our secret list of payments? One entry stands out. Guarantee JH, João Havelange's initials, next to a payment of 1.5 million Swiss francs, $1 million.
It had been a good few weeks for Sepp Blatter here in Zurich, a real momentum towards his FIFA presidency and retaining that presidency on June the 1st. Problem that Mr. Blatter has had to face during his 13 years here. Time and again, people will want to accuse FIFA of corruption. There has been evidence. There have been 2 FIFA Executive Committee members banned before the vote into the 2018 and the 2022 World Cup. And it's something that just won't go away. This is what Mr. Blatter had to say today.
I am the president, and I have my own conscience, and I can say, and I already said it, I can only answer for myself. I cannot answer for the members of my committee. I cannot say that they are all angels or they are all devils. I can only respond with my conscience, and I can say I am not in this category that has to go nor to a tribunal nor to the ethics committee.
Of the Football Association in England is heavily involved in the World Cup bid to bring the 2018 World Cup to England. And as anybody knows, you know, the 24-man executive committee decide who gets this World Cup, and obviously there's a lot of lobbying involved, and England were surprised they didn't get it. And Treisman was called before Parliament to sort of explain this, and he came out and he said, well, we weren't prepared to meet the demands from certain people, effectively saying that, you know, we weren't prepared to do favors. And, you know, they range from things like one person allegedly wanted Lord Treisman to get him a knighthood from the Queen. Another person wanted the FA to invest money in his country and in this development project. Sticking point. You know, FIFA have said we're going to send this directly to our ethics committee, and you know, they'll deal with it. I don't know that you can expect too much to come out of it, because the problem with Lord Treisman is, you know, he threw out a lot of accusations, but it's going to be his words against everybody else, and if this is the best he's got, you know, it's just not going to be good enough.
Is this just sour grapes, though, Janis? Of course, Treisman wanted the England bid to succeed. Russia got it in the end.
Well, I think partially, but not all of it. I think he had to explain himself because, you know, if you look at England, they've invested £19 million into this, you know, ahead of this vote. So obviously that's a lot of money. And I think everybody thought, including myself, that perhaps England deserved this. So let's not forget, it's been since 1966. And if you look at Premier League, if you know, I think I felt that there were favorites. It turned out to be a different way. I think what Lord Treisman does say has some value, but as Gab says, unless you have hard evidence, it's going to be always difficult to prove these allegations.
Tommy, the ESPN lawyers are watching closely here. Be careful what you have to say. Your reaction?
I don't have any reaction. I mean, did we not know that stuff like this was going on? Why are we surprised? Why did he have to go to the Commons to tell people this? I mean, England spent, what, 19 million, and they got one vote beside their own, was it? So that's an expensive vote. I mean, you could buy a good football player for that, never mind a vote. So we know what's going on. We don't have to be told, and I have absolutely no comment. Fifth Amendment, please.
No comment, which took 40 seconds. Thanks, Tommy. Janis and
Caught up with President Blatter again as he was about to fly off to the World Cup in his executive jet. Good morning, President Blatter. Why did FIFA repay the ISL bribes? Did you ever take bribes from ISL? President Blatter, I must ask you, are you a fit and proper person to control world football? I'll ask you again, why did FIFA repay the ISL bribes? Are you a fit and proper person to run world football?
No, please, no. What more do you want? Money? A stadium on the Table Mountain. Small African children smiling. Please, Mr. Blatter, please, just say, what is it? What do you want?